Some people are already celebrating early here in the Alamo City with a parade. Juneteenth, or Freedom Day, was made officially a federal holiday last year. It celebrates the emancipation of enslaved African descendants in America. And this morning, the parade started at Sam Houston High School and went over to Comanche Park 2, where the official Juneteenth festival is being held this weekend. According to participants and organizers, the purpose of these events is to educate folks about the historic day and its significance to African Americans.
It's all about freedom. It's everybody's business. All about freedom, liberty, equality, and justice for all.
This is the last day of the Juneteenth festival, but fear not, it runs until 11 o'clock tonight, so still plenty of time to get out there and enjoy it if you don't mind the heat.
Oh, it's San Antonio.
Yeah.
People are celebrating,
yes.
Which
Definitely.
We're happy to see.
But yes, they are going to have to contend with not just the heat, but the humidity.
Yeah.
You can almost see how humid it is in the air, kind of adding to that hazy effect as well. So we take a look outside with live cam. Yeah, that's been the big story today. Once again, the heat and the humidity. Now, later on this evening, after dinner time, coverage is expected to be pretty low locally, but an isolated strong storm can't completely be ruled out, especially northwest of San Antonio. So we'll monitor that. But again, coverage pretty low. As you head into your Father's Day, it's going to be hot. So treating dad to some AC, probably a good idea. More heat into next week. We'll have those details after the break.
Taking a look at headlines in health, Dr. Anthony Fauci has a warning for us that while COVID cases are way down, a new variant could quickly change that. Today, speaking at a university in Italy, Fauci said the world needs to remain vigilant to control and manage COVID so it doesn't quickly mutate into variants that current treatments and immunities can't control. Dr. Fauci said the likelihood of that happening is not known right now, but also not impossible. He said he agrees with the World Health Organization's assessment that the virus is no longer a global health emergency, but said it will take diligence for it to stay that way.
Gallup estimates low worker engagement is costing the global economy about $9 trillion. Its State of the Global Workplace 2023 shows 59% of employees are quiet quitting, meaning they're checked out at work. The survey also shows record stress. About 44% of respondents say they feel a lot of it at work, matching the 2021 high. Just over half of workers say they're looking for a new job. So what would make employees happier? According to the survey, workers want more autonomy, clearer goals, and recognition for their contributions.
More money wasn't on the list?
Well, I know whose contributions are important.
Yeah.
Our meteorologists who are telling us not to be in the heat.
Not allowed to talk, lot to talk about, but it is hot, so that's what we got to focus on.
Yep, it is hot, it is humid, and that's going to be the theme for any Father's Day plans that you may have tomorrow, Juneteenth plans heading into Monday as well. The humidity has really been with us in full force yet again this Saturday. Take a look at these dew point temperatures. This is how we measure the low-level moisture here in the air. In the mid to upper 70s, even a few low 80s out there. That is incredibly oppressive. You will notice it the second that you step outside. And of course, what that humidity also does, it helps those heat index values climb well into the triple digits across pretty much the entire area in and around San Antonio. White numbers, the actual air temperature, but when you take a look at these yellow numbers, those are those feels like temperatures. Currently feels like 104 over at the airport, 109 in Bulverde. Pleasanton has a current heat index value of 113 degrees. So yes, definitely needing to make sure that we are still being safe out there in this heat that continues yet again this Father's Day weekend. Now, what this heat could do over the next couple of hours later on this evening, especially across portions of the hill country, southern Edwards Plateau, and maybe even near the Rio Grande, we could find a few isolated strong thunderstorms pop up and drift into those portions of our area. Coverage is expected to be pretty low locally. The better bet for severe weather is north of our viewing area near San Angelo, stretching up into the Texas Panhandle, even into Oklahoma as well. That's where that 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather is currently in place. But here at home, again, especially northwest of town, later on this evening, we will just keep an eye on the radar. You can see the this here on our future cast by and after dinner time. I think the better energy with this potential is closer to the Austin and Waco area, again, north of San Antonio, but still, it's not completely off the table. So we will monitor that for you generally before you head to bed later on tonight. That then takes us into our Father's Day. Get ready for more heat and humidity. Who's surprised at this point, right? We're going to start off tomorrow with more cloud cover in place, pretty similar to what we saw earlier this morning. Temperatures in the upper 70s by 7 a.m., even near 80 degrees in spots. So it is going to be a sticky start. And then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, I think it's possible we actually see a little bit more sunshine compared to what we've seen today. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s by lunchtime into the afternoon. Those air temperatures in the triple digits possible. We've got a forecast high around 102 currently here in San Antonio. So here's your morning temperatures. Again, very, very humid out there. Upper 70s for most. I think it's possible we only find a few low 80s out there too, just because temperatures aren't able to cool off very efficiently through the overnight with all of this moisture in place. And then into the afternoon, as we see more sunshine take over, triple digits are certainly a possibility. Take a look at these forecasted heat index values though. When you do factor in all of the moisture, those could approach 110 degrees closer to San Antonio yet again tomorrow afternoon, even higher in some locations. So if you do have any plans with Dad, maybe take those plans inside for just a little bit in the air conditioning, or if you are planning on being outside, don't forget the sunscreen because the UV index is likely going to be pretty high as well. I think as we head into next week though, slight optimism here. We may be able to find a slight break in the humidity ever so slightly by Tuesday and Wednesday. But on the flip side of that, drier air also helps temperatures crank up. So still triple digits expected just in time for the summer solstice on Wednesday. So definitely feeling a whole lot like it around here, guys.
Yep, it definitely is. Although lower humidity will take. Thank you, Mia.
I'm not taking that. I will take the heat and move on up to Ohio to take the family. All right, Malcolm Brown back in town doing something he hasn't been able to do in a couple of years. RJ?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Speaking of the heat, he held his first summer camp since the COVID-19 pandemic, and his teammate there, Ramon Richards, also held a camp of his own at Alamo Stadium this morning. We're going to talk all about these big summer camps that are taking place across the San Antonio area as sports is coming up next.
A little over 48 hours and that thing was filled up, man. 350 football participants and 125 cheer participants, man. And a little over 48 hours it filled up.
The COVID years may have put a pause on summer camps, but Malcolm Brown and his coaches are back at Steele High School, and the community showed up in a big way last night.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Summertime in San Antonio means summer camps, and a lot of the kids hit the field with former Steele High School and UT alum Malcolm Brown last night out there in Cibolo. Malcolm Brown held a free football camp at his former high school grounds for kids ages 6 through 13. KSAT 12 Sports caught up with the 8-year NFL pro to get his thoughts on the renewed rivalry between UT and Texas A&M after it was announced this week that they would finally face each other again on the football field in 2024.
Man, that's amazing. I think I was actually a part of the very last one. Justin Tucker hitting that field goal for the win. And that game was something that probably doesn't even compare to any game, whether it's college or NFL. That atmosphere in that game was something that I've never felt before, and nothing ever even matched it throughout my entire football career, my entire football life, man. So I know that that game is going to be something special. I can't wait for that.
And Brown was not alone coaching the kids at camp. He was joined by UTSA star quarterback Frank Harris and UTSA safety Rashad Wisdom, just to name a few. All the coaches want the kids to leave the camp gaining some new skills, but it's also about giving back and setting the example.
You know, I just remember coming to these camps, you know, when I was their age, and, you know, I remember the experience that I had and just the impact they had on me. And, you know, I'm at the position now to where I'm able to give back to the same way that, you know, the people poured into me. And, you know, I hope that when they're able to be in my position, you know, they do the same thing.
And earlier today, former Brackenridge High School and Oklahoma State star Ramon Richards was having a camp of his own at Alamo Stadium. This camp was also free and focused on the kids in the SAISD district. Richards, who spent some time with the LA Rams, told us why camps like these in this area are so important, especially for kids growing up in SAISD.
I want to give these kids something, not only them, but they have younger brothers and sisters who want to be involved. So this is the beginning of something special. It's kids like, come here, man. Come on in here. Come on in here. What's your name? And tell them your name and your position and what school you go to.
Victor, I'm going to go to Brack, and I'm going to be a running back.
Victor, Brackenridge, running back. That's what it's about. It's about kids like him and all these kids over here who will be playing in this stadium in a few years, because you will be playing here in a couple years. You know that, right? So that's what it's about. It's not even about me, to be honest with you. It's not about me. It's about the guys wearing these white shirts.
Absolutely love seeing all these guys giving back here. Now, Richards has never forgotten about giving back to the community that he grew up in. He's always made it a point to come back, interact with the kids, as we just saw right there, and influence and inspire the next generation of leaders.
Backside motion.
All right, it's game day for the San Antonio Gunslingers. They were off last week, and tonight they will host the West Texas Warbirds at Freeman Coliseum. San Antonio defeated West Texas by 2 points back on May 20th. That score was 38-36. San Antonio is still in first place in the National Arena League standings with a 6-1 record. Kickoff tonight at the Freeman is set for 6 p.m. All right, Thursday night in the CONCACAF Nations League semifinal between the United States and Mexico, Team USA won 3-0, but there were 4 red cards issued in what turned out to be a very intense game. In fact, the game ended early in the second half stoppage time due to fans shouting anti-gay chants. CONCACAF issued a statement saying that it, quote, strongly condemns the discriminatory chanting, end quote. The United States will face Canada for the Nations League trophy on Sunday, and starting next weekend, the CONCACAF Gold Cup group stage begins, and some of those games will be at Houston, there at NRG Stadium. Both the U.S. and Mexico will play in those games starting on the 24th. TCU's opponent in the College World Series is now set. The Horned Frogs unfortunately lost Friday afternoon 6-5 to the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. That's after TCU gave up 4 runs in the top of the ninth. You can see that right there to give the game away. The Horned Frogs will now face Virginia, who lost to Florida 6-5 also Friday night. TCU must win this next game or their season is over. That game is set for 1 o'clock tomorrow.
The Vegas Golden Knights, 2023 Stanley Cup champions.
And earlier this week, the Vegas Golden Knights, you see right there, won their first Stanley Cup in team history, which is only 6 years old. How about that? Their owner even promised back then, before the team played a single game, that Vegas would win the Stanley Cup in 6 years. So the Golden Knights have kept that promise. Tonight is their victory parade in Sin City at 9 p.m. San Antonio time. Now, we all know Vegas is known for being over the top with pretty much everything. We'll see if this championship parade will be the same as are many of their shows out there.
We need to be better, I think.
Yeah.
We need to have these ready to go.
Yeah. If you give us some more time to think, we can come up with some more.
We need more experience of being a dad. So write in, please, if we need to learn some more jokes, give us some jokes to learn.
All right, this is really cool. So SAFC may be off this weekend, but the dads on the team are working on their dad's jokes. Okay, so tomorrow night on Instant Replay, we're honoring dads everywhere with some stories from our favorite student athletes. Join us Sunday on Instant Replay starting at 11 p.m. right after the night beats. And I got a quick dad joke for you guys, real quick here. Why did the pony ask for a glass of water?
Why?
Because he was a little horse.
Oh, there you go. That's a good dad joke.
That's a good one.
I can't remember any of them, so I just listened to them. Thank you, RJ.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Finally at 5, archaeologists found a gleaming 3,000-year-old sword at a burial site in southern Germany. It was discovered last week in the German state of Bavaria. Researchers believe it was left in the grave as a burial gift.
In great condition, the sword has an octagonal handle made entirely from bronze, which makes it a rare find. It's thought to date back to the end of the 14th century during the Middle Bronze Age.
Wow.
Very cool.
That is pretty neat. All right, one final look at your Father's Day forecast. Heat and humidity still with us. Temperatures could climb back up into the low triple digits, of course, feeling like it across pretty much the entire area. And then more heat's going to continue into next week, guys.
Yikes. That's all of our time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here for the Night Beat tonight at 10.
Try to stay cool. Have a great evening.